Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today's Tuesday, so it's my weekly Teach It Tuesday class. I want to thank you for stopping by. If you are new to my group, please say hello so that I know that you're there. And if you are, and let me know where you're from also. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, please let me know also where you're at. I like to check in with people and see where they're watching from. Okay, I'm just making sure. Can you see my screen okay? Say hello once you pop on. Hello, ladies. How are you? Hey, Sharon. Thank you for joining. Hi, Cynthia. How are you? Yay. I'm using this new technology, so I'm just checking to make sure everything's working okay. How are you ladies doing? I hope you're doing well. Yes, it was a beautiful day. Cynthia, was it windy in Massachusetts today? It was very windy here today. Very warm. The sun was very warm. Very nice day. But it was windy. Yeah, it was there too. Okay. Well, glad you're doing well, Sharon. What's new with you? Anything? Have you ladies been stamping? I hope. I have been playing with the new in colors. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, you're still pet sitting. Well, that's not a bad thing. Pets are good. We love our pets, don't we? And everybody else's too. I hope you're taking time to stamp. Oh, you was on a quilting retreat. Oh, that's fun too. Well, we've had a lot going on here on the farm over the last week. We've had a lot of tragedy. We've had some good things happen and we've had some tragedies, but it seems like it's just been one thing after another. My daughter had 3 goats that were pregnant, and they all delivered like really close to each other, like within 24 to 48 hours of each other. Hi, Melanie. Thank you for joining. It's hot, hot there, huh? And so she had three females pregnant. Each one lost one. One was stillborn with one mother. The second one died in my kitchen, and it was very sad. We tried to warm it up and do all kinds of things, and that was sad. My daughter was really devastated because it was white and black, and it was the only one out of all the babies that looked like that. And so that one, and then the third one had 2 babies, and then still that you could still see the stuff like the placenta stuff coming. And they say after 12 hours, you know, if it's not gone, if it's not out, then there's an issue. So my daughter called the vet, and lo and behold, she had another baby in her, but it was backwards. And that's what she was still contracting, and she couldn't get the baby out because it was backwards. So the vet had to go in and get it. Then the next night, my daughter's dog, she has one of those tall English bulldogs, I'm not sure what the name of it is, got in a mess with a porcupine at 9:30 at night and had them all through her face and her 3 in her eye. So we were taking an emergency visit to the vets that night. Yeah, it's been a lot. And then the next day, my daughter's going to work and she hit a turkey on her way to work in her new Jeep. And then yesterday, was it yesterday or day before, my daughter's donkey died, Eli. So we just had a lot going on. It's just been like one thing after another. It's just been crazy. But onward and upward, right? I know. We love our animals here on the farm. We've got, cows and goats and chickens, and we had pony, and we had the jackass, the donkey, and she's had a really rough week. I feel really bad for her. Yeah. Yesterday was the straw that broke the back with the donkey, because the donkey and the pony have been together for like 20 years. And the pony, when my son-in-law went to get the donkey out of the pasture with the backhoe, the horse went over and was digging and neighing, and it was just really sad. Then my daughter walked him down to our barn, and then the pony kept looking up and neighing and looking up at the field. So it was really hard. It's just been a tough week. So we need to craft and make our hearts happy, right? Okay. So let's get started. So tonight I have been playing with the new in colors, and I absolutely love them. And I started out with the Tea Boutique, which is in the annual catalog, the new annual catalog, on pages 12 and 13. I am loving this set already, and I haven't even really touched the surface with it. But I tried to case one of these cards here. And remember, our catalog has lots of inspiration in it. So don't hesitate to utilize the samples in the catalog, because we have some great samples in there. Yeah. It was a tough week. Thank you, June. And welcome, by the way. So I started playing with this suite of products, which I told you in my unboxing that also comes with the note cards and envelopes, which are really pretty. I'm going to use those tonight for one of my cards. You have the stamp set and the dies. And between both of these, there are so many options that you can do, because you can stamp, or you can cut out, or you can do both with these. So I'm going to show you some ways that I use this to make my cards tonight. And I hope, if this has been, on your list, or you've been thinking about it, I hope this inspires you and gives you some ideas on ways to use this. The other thing I like about this stamp set is there's just lots of different, it's very versatile as far as occasions. You can send it to somebody if they're tired, if they're sick, if you just want to send them a note. You can do it if you want to do happy birthday. I mean, there's just a lot of different ways to use this stamp set. So you'll definitely get your money's worth with this. Oh yeah, if you're going to get this set, you really want to get the note cards and the envelopes for sure. Okay, so we're going to get started. And first card I'm going to make is this one. And I cased this out, the design out of the catalog, but I just kind of changed it up a little bit. I kind of just made it my own a little bit. So isn't that pretty? And this is using the note cards and the envelope. So this is the envelope And this note card is just comes like this. You don't even need DSP on it. Hey, Kim, how are you? So the note cards, you get 20 in the pack. I think I showed you those. You get 20 envelopes and 20 card bases in the book. And I think, what are they, like $10? And they're all pre-printed, and they're all in using the new in colors. So it's a great way to get sort of acclimated to the new in colors. Good to see you. Okay, so this one is not really difficult because, again, the cards and envelopes really do all the work for you. So what I have is the card base, and I'm using this blue, I'm not even sure what that looks like, a fence almost, doesn't it? And I'm using a piece of white, and this white is 2 3/4 by 4, and that's going to go on the center. And then what I did, and I already did this just to save time, so I'm using the this is the Orchid Oasis. So I cut the, let me show you the dies here. So I cut the, or cut out the teacup using the Orchid Oasis. Now we have the full teacup here, and then you also have one that has designs on it, and I'm going to show you how I use that in the next card. Okay. And then I used the Starry Sky. Oh, actually, I used it with this, and I cut it out with the other one. Forgot. There you go. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to mirror those together like that. And that's how easy it is. So let's do some stamping first. And I'm going to show you how, let me bring the card in. And I want to show you how I did this popping out of the cup. Okay. So I'll show you how I did it, and then you guys may have your own way of doing that. Okay. So can you guys see that? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the sentiment on the bottom. So that we're going to work our way up. Okay. And I did that in Fresh Freesia. I thought that was a nice complementing color. And we're going to use the stamp that says, take care of yourself. Now that can be, I mean, really for lots of things. You're not feeling well. You've had a bad day. You just need to relax. Whatever. Okay, so we're going to do this. And we're going to put this down at the bottom. I kind of centered it. So that starts the process there. You guys remember Fresh Freesia? Half gone already, 1 year. That's another in color from last year. Then what I did is I also cut out I used a scrap, and I cut out another teacup, and I'm going to use that for my mask. Okay, you can use regular basic white, or you can even use your printer paper, scrap paper, whatever you want to do. And what I did is I kind of looked at, where do I want this? So I'm going to kind of put this above the sentiment. And that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll move it over a little bit. Okay. I think my paper, it has the bend in it. So I think, you know what? I'm going to move this now. Hold on. See if that works. Okay. So now we're going to put this where you think you want it, kind of centered. Okay. And then I'm going to take the leaf that's in the well, a bunch of leaves, vines, whatever you want to call them, that are in the book. And we're going to, in the stamp set, and we're going to use, on this card, I used Garden Green. Now, Garden Green is also in the DSP. If you're using the DSP, the 6x6 DSP, but you can use any green that you have. And so let's get this. I'm going to ink this up. Make sure you guys can see. You guys see okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this where I think I want it, and I'm going to overlap it. Yeah, and that's how you do like the leaf part of it. And hopefully that will work when we do the teacup. Okay. And then what I did is I also used the fresh freesia on the flowers over here. Can you guys still see that right there? So I wanted that to kind of match the sentiment. And so that stamp is this one. And can you see that it has like it's all one? And there's also a die that will cut these out. Okay. So I kind of played with this a little bit and tried to figure out like how best to do the flowers. I mean, there's no right or wrong. You can kind of put them anywhere you want. But I kind of lined up this first one like right here with that first big stem. But again, it can go any way you want it to be. There you go. Very forgiving. What do you think so far? And that's okay, because we're going to, then what we're going to do is we need to glue this down to the top. And I just used liquid glue. And I just kind of used, you don't need you got some really small sections. You just want to kind of tap it. You have some bigger sections you can be a little bit more generous with, but all right, I'm going to kind of turn this a little bit. Thank you, Kim. Is this on your list by any chance? And then this mirrors on here very, very easily. Fits perfect. And you just kind of tap that on there to dry it. If I recall, Kim, you like teacups, if I recall. Okay, and then I pop that up. You can kind of wiggle it around with the liquid glue. That looks good. And then I'm going to pop that up using dimensionals. Now, I don't know that I'll actually need a little one, but, whoops, that's a big one. Let me see. I got some minis here. Then this is going to be a must-have for you, I think. And just put that there. And then that will go like that. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, my niece loves tea. And I know what I'm going to be using to make her next birthday card, even though it just passed in March. Yeah, what do you think? Isn't that pretty? How easy that is? Okay, then what I did, So then I have the little, you can use this as like a lemon or a lime, whatever you prefer. I'm using crushed curry for that. Yeah, I like the fresh freesia with the blue too, because I was trying to see, like, I was doing different ones, and I'll show you one that I did using the green, the new what is it, Parakeet Party. And I'll show you that one after this one is over, like what I did. But I was trying to figure out like what colors will go. And I think you guys are going to be surprised. Oh, let me see. Let me find my. Oh, there it is. Now, there is a die to cut this out if you want to use the die. I thought it was right here. But I am going to do, just to be quicker, I'm just going to fussy cut it really quick. It's easy. It's very easy to cut around. Whoops. I mean, you can use the die and you can get it perfect. And then I just kind of stuck that like over there. But you could make this a lime if you wanted to. And I was thinking that that would kind of go on there like that. Whoop. Wait a minute. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? And then all you do is bring your pre-made card base in from those cards and envelopes. And then we're going to put some dimensionals on that. Oh, get over there. Like I said at the beginning, there's going to be lots of options with these, with this suite of products between the dies and the stamp set. And then you're just going to want to eyeball it and center it as best you can. And then you get your pre-made envelope that matches it. Oh, look, I didn't even realize that. I bet that is, let me look at that. Hang on. See if it says. I bet that's fresh freesia. I didn't even realize that when I did it. It matches. Isn't that pretty? And it's so easy. Now, does it say? Let me look. Okay, so I think, let me see. Page 137. Yeah, these are only $10 for these cards and envelopes. Okay, the colors in there are crushed curry, fresh freesia, garden green, orchid oasis, parakeet party, petal pink, starry sky, sweet sorbet, Tahitian tide. So yes, it is actually, and I did not know that when I made this card because I never pulled the envelope out till after. Too funny. Very pretty and very easy to do. So take care of yourself. You can decide who you're sending this to, do the inside. You could do a little teacup in here, or you could do some flowers. You can decorate the inside if you want, but that is really, whoops, can you guys see? There we go. That is really, really pretty. And I am loving these in colors already. Do you guys have a new favorite? Have you been playing with them at all? Now, don't forget, just while I'm thinking about it, let me just remind you that we are having a special, an in color joining special right now in the month of May only. If you join for the typical $99, you can still pick $125 worth of free product, but you're also going to get all of these products shown here. So you're going to get the in color grid paper. You're going to get a pack of in color 8.5 by 11 that has all the colors in it to get you started. And then you can pick your favorite. You're going to get all 5 ink pads of the new in colors. And you're going to get a pack of that DSP in color paper, which I showed you on my, let me go back here, which I showed you here that has all the in colors and all the different designs. You get all of that in addition to your starter kit bonus. So there's a lot to get here, and it's really a very generous special that they're running, but only for the month of May. So if that's something you want to do, let me know, and I can get you set up. Okay, are you ready for card number 2? It is a great deal, Cynthia. Are you ready? Are you ready to come back and get that deal? You have 6 months and then you can to be a discount shopper. And if you want to stay, that's great. And if you don't, that's okay too. Okay, are you ready for card number 2? Now this one is a fun fold. Okay. So let me get my stuff out here. So here's the card. Oh, wait, you know what? Before I go on to that, I wanted to show you my other card I made also. And this is in the Parakeet Party. Same design. I just changed up the colors and I used the Parakeet Party card base. And that also has the coordinating envelope, which is really pretty. So lots of different ways to use these cards and envelopes. Yeah, I love the colors. Of course, I love green and blue together anyways. And I was kind of playing around with this, trying to decide, did I want a parakeet cup and the Starry Sky overlay or vice versa? And so I landed on this, but you could also do it the opposite way. And you could do, I'll show you. So you could do it like that, and you could do it and have that cup instead. So either way works, but lots of options. That's what I'm saying, is like you have lots of options with this suite of products. So for $10 for these, you get 20 card bases and 20 envelopes. That's a steal. That's a no-brainer to me. Okay, so here is, this is a Gatefold card, and you would put in your center here, which I did, but I don't know who I'm sending this to yet. Again, I use the Take Care of Yourself, and I use the DSP. So I'm going to show you how I did. I'm going to change up the DSP a little bit, and then you can tell me after which one you like better. Both of them I think are going to be pretty. So I will put this here. And I'll show you how I did the cup also. Okay. And then I'm going to have to cut that out for you. So the card base is Orchid Oasis, and it's 4 1/4 by 11. And you're going to have 2 score lines to get your Gatefold card, which we've made these several times. You're going to score it at 2 3/4, and you're going to score it at 8 1/4. Okay, and I've already done that. So I'm just going to fold my score lines. Okay. like that. And there's your gatefold. Very easy, very simple, and a lot of fun to make. Okay, so there's that. And then I have a piece of Starry Sky, and this is 2.5 by 4 3/4 here. And that's going to go across over here. And then I use the Orchid Oasis. Now notice how well I think these two go really nice together. And the Orchid Oasis is 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. So we're going to use that and layer that up. So we can go ahead and do that right now. I think the hardest thing when I was making these cards, is to try to figure out what colors to use, because I love them all and I'm really having fun with them. Okay. There's that. Okay. And then we have another piece of Starry Sky, and this is 1 1/2 by 2 1/4. And we're going to make, that's going to be for the sentiment. And then the white piece is 1 1/4 by 2. And that will fit nicely like that. Okay. So we are going to do some stamping. And let me... So we're going to stamp the sentiment. And on this one, I did, let me move this. I used the Starry Sky. It is so pretty. I like the blue and the white too. Very, very pretty. Okay, so let me just clean my stamp from last time. And this is Take Care of Yourself. Again, I love this. I love the font. And then you're going to want to center that right there. See how bold that is? I'll show you in the camera. Is that coming up nice and bold? See how pretty? I love the font. Really, really pretty. Okay, and then we're going to stick that aside for a second. And then we're going to bring in the teacup. Now, in here we have stamps for both. You have the one with the vines in it, the leaves, and then you have ones with stripes. I stamped a few times with this, just playing with it, but I haven't made anything with that one yet. I really do like the vine one. So let's see, we'll do... Isn't that color beautiful? It's so bold. Like our Night of Navy is nice, but it's a deeper, this is a richer. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to cut that out. So let me bring in and what we're going to do is we're going to cut that out with just the plain let me get that there. And I'm going to get my tape. Hold on. If I can find what I did with it. Hold on. Oh, right here. I just don't want it to move once I get it lined up. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we'll try that. Take that tape off. So that was the die, and then here you go. Look how beautiful that came out. And again, this one can also, you can do this in any of the colors. And then what I did is I took the Orchid Oasis blend, because all our new in colors have blends. And if you're anything like me, I highly recommend, if you're getting the in colors, to grab the blends eventually, because they do really come in handy. And then I just colored in the leaves with the lighter Orchid Oasis. And I think it makes it pop. These two colors really do complement each other very well. That's that. See how pretty that is? Isn't that pretty, Melanie? Kim, I'm really sorry to hear about the Bruins. I was watching them. It was a very sad ending. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn that over and pop that up. Okay, so let's bring in our card base. So that's going to go like that. And then you're going to put glue only on the left side, okay? So you're just going to put glue on this side. And then just kind of center that. Like that. If you put glue on both sides, it's not going to open up, okay? Yeah, I know. It was very disappointing. On a lighter note, the Celtics won those last two games to go into the next playoff series, which I was really happy about. Okay, so we're going to tip this up and just kind of made that a little crooked like that. And then now we're going to go back to our sentiment and we're going to glue that on there. Oh! Why didn't you say something? Hold on. Oh my gosh. I thought it looked kind of funny. Hang on. Let me get my magic thing here. Oh my gosh. That's what happens when I chit chat. Thank you. Hold on here. We're going to try to fix that. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. I thought this is looking different. All right. It's coming. Now, I'm not worried about what the paper is going to look like because we're going to cover it up. If it's really bad, I'll just get a new piece. But oh, you gotta love live TV here, don't you? Okay, hang on. Yeah, I did a real good number on my paper, that's for sure. But that's all right. Let's see if we can fix this. All right. Remember I told you I had different color. I'm going to go with the darker one. So my thought was to put this one down, which is the opposite of this one. And then you have the other side, you could do dots too. Which one do you like? I kind of like this one because it has the orchid in it. A lot shows up more. Yeah, I'm going to do that too. I agree. So this one is just like the opposite. So one, I use the DSP because it comes in all the colors. And I use on this one, I use the Orchid Oasis. On this one, we're using the Starry Sky. See, fixed. There isn't anything we can't fix, ladies. There's always a way. And the longer you stamp, the better at it you get of fixing things. All right. Let's do that right there. There we go. That looks better. You like the plaid better, Kim? There are stripes in this paper. I will show you. Did you guys all see, remember this? I don't know if you were all. So this is like, whoop, hold on. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, so let's look at, these are the designs that we have. So look at all of those. Look at the pretty, pretty paper. Whoops, let me show you the green. Parakeet, there's that. So the plaids, all of those colors are in all of the in colors. And then when you turn it over, you have some, I would say like some more of the subtle, this one's backwards, but so you have like some stripes there. You've got some lines here. See? So the paper is gorgeous. The paper is gorgeous. So lots of options with that. Okay, so back to this. Let's get this back on. One thing about Tombow glue, it's strong, as you guys are witness to, right? All right, so we're going to stick that about there. There we go. Okay, and then we have this, and you could pop that up or you could just glue it down. Okay, I'm just going to glue it flat. But that could also be popped up. I like the teacup being popped up. There. Okay. And then you're going to use, let's see. The 4 by 5 1/4 will go inside, and you can stamp your whatever you're going to do here. What? Yeah, they're both really pretty. And I think they complement each other. But you could go either way, and you can even go. I mean, this is what I'm saying. There's so many options with this paper. And then again, you have your beautiful envelope that goes with it on that. So let's bring in the 2 cards. I will definitely be going with playing with this again. You'll be seeing me probably do another class with it. I really love it. And again, like I said, I think it's very versatile. I think the cards and envelopes make it really cost effective, to make 20 cards for $10. So, and again, I think the options between the dies and the stamps, because everything, it coordinates with each other, make it a real fun set to play with. So you guys seem to like the darker one better. That's good. Well, I'm glad I changed it up. Whoop. There's the darker one. And then here's the green one. Whoop, there. So there's the darker one. And then here's the green one, which is fun too. You can't go wrong with any of the colors. I think once you get the colors and you start playing with them, you'll see how well they work together and how they work with our current colors as well. And then I have this one. You like it? All right, ladies. Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. And thank you for watching me give you some inspiration on these new in colors and giving me some opinions on switching things up a little bit, which is always fun to do. Oh, you're very welcome, Cynthia. Thank you. And I hope you ladies have a great rest of the week. I think it's supposed to be getting warmer as the week goes on. So fingers crossed on that. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.